my normal is different than somebody else's. And I only know what I was taught. Right.
Absolutely.
And I used to be someone who, I know where this came from too, but I was also someone who used to think, well, I should have known. I should have known. Even as a kid, I should have known. Well, no, no,
No.
I shouldn't have known. Here's an example.
Mm.
This is kind of a funny one though. So I was in 8th grade and there was I've shared this story before. It's kind of cute, but, I got my first pair of high heels and I wanted these high heels really bad. And they were ugly. I look at them back now and they were ugly. They were very ugly. Then I loved them. And my mom said, okay, but you have to work extra, around the house in order to earn the money for them. So, okay, that's fine. So I did. I earned the money. Very exciting. So I couldn't wait. Went and got them, bought them at Sears, came home right away, went in my room, put them on, walked out. And the first thing out of my mom's mouth was, you don't know how to walk in heels. I'm like, yeah, okay. I didn't know there was a way to walk in heels. Like I wasn't even aware of that. I was 13 years old.
Right.
I didn't even know that there was a way to walk in heels. But did she get up and show me? So that, so then it got to the point where that happened a lot. So we got, well, I should have known. And I know a lot of other abuse victims, or survivors deal with that as well as, I should have known. And no, I'm giving you a break on that. No.
Right.
No,
Quite the opposite.
it's okay not to know. And it's okay to say, I don't know, but I'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah. If I may, what's devastating is that your mom felt it comfortable to tease you, to pot shot in a way, instead of suggest, you don't know what you're doing, let me help you, let me show you, so you have all the information.
Right.
Instead of just pointing out that you didn't have the right tools and then perhaps going about our
Right.
business. This is the definition essentially of abuse that we can take into our futures, because now we are a person who should have known better, who should have figured it out, who can't ask for help, because if we do, is this the kind of treatment that we get?
That's the key right there.
Yeah.
That is the key. You just nailed it. That I should have known, so I can't reach out for help because I'm supposed to know this. I'm supposed to know this.
At 13
and I remember
years
when
old.
she said that to me, I was thinking, I'm thinking, oh God, I guess I should have known. How come I didn't know? Why didn't I know that, you dummy? So that's where that went. But it makes sense. And so that makes total sense. It's crazy. As I got older, not reaching out for help because the shame was so deep that I should know this.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid of me to reach out to somebody because I'm supposed to know this. How many other listeners are dealing with that?
Oh, I bet everybody's raising their hand right now.
I know. But that just hit me just now where that twist came from, because I was hesitant to go get help. I certainly wouldn't share my stories because it was all my fault anyway.
Right. And then to run the risk of being told that again, to run the risk of being shamed even more, or have that idea being reinforced by other adults or other caregivers in your life. God forbid, right? One more person would have said or done something that reminded you, oh yeah, I don't have the tools. I'm not smart.
Right.
I'm not capable. And now we're talking about low self-esteem. We're talking about a lack of confidence and a true self-loathing. How could I not know these things? Because you're a child. Because you're a child. You're not born into this world equipped with these things. I believe that we are born into this world knowing that we're deserving of respect and love. Yeah. And I wonder if that's why at some point, whether as a child or as an adult, most folks do reach out for therapy and support. They recognize that where they came from was some semblance of toxic and harmful, and that now those things are somehow still with them today, whether in body, right? Like Bessel van der Kolk talks about, body keeps the score. God knows trauma lives and stays in the body until we up and release it. Dick Schwartz talks about internal family systems, about the little child inside. So much of our adult work looks like tapping back into that little kid, letting yourself feel and experience what it meant to not get those needs met, or to be ridiculed, to be mistreated, to be made fun of for not knowing. This is where low self-esteem comes from. Is because we weren't actively lifted up. We weren't actively praised and supported and loved, even in our shortcomings. Our shortcomings. I put that in quotes, as if you not knowing how to walk in these 6-inch heels is a shortcoming. It's not a flaw, right? It's not a character defect. What it is, it was a brand new thing to you. and your mom, the adult in your life, had an opportunity to stand right next to you, right? To come alongside you and support you in that. And instead, she dropped the ball, if I may say.
Yeah. No, she did. She did. Yeah. That was kind of what she did. It was interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. That should have known got it even went as far as this is when I think about this is really, and I'm putting this stuff out there because I'm trying to bring this stuff to light that kind of goes on in our heads so our listeners can resonate with it. Those that resonate with it and understand that this isn't a you. Mm-mm. This is what, what it can do. Yes. But even so far as I should even know what you're thinking. Like I should know what you expect of me without having to say it. Just, it went that far. It went so far. And it was so important to me to be a chameleon so that, it was part of the people pleasing and that you would like me, but and to make the relationship work. But I put that kind of pressure on myself.
Yes.
Is I should even know without you sharing with me what your expectations are of me. I'm just supposed to know that. And yeah, right.
Look at the pressure.
All I know is what my expectations are. And sometimes they're not so good, but
the bar is high.
I can't expect it. Yeah.
Yeah. The bar is high when we come back home and expect ourselves to know certain things. Or again, it's these thought processes that reinforce, I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Therefore, I need to do all of these things to self-protect, to hide, to make sure that nobody finds out. I love that you mentioned people pleasing, imposter syndrome, believing that someone will find out that you're a fake. These are all ways in which we defend and protect ourselves from what we believe is going to be an abuse coming down the pipeline. Most likely too, because this is the kind of protection we needed to have, or this is the kind of protection that we needed to execute, right, in order to save ourselves from whatever we grew up in, whether that looked like hyper independence, let me just deal with it on my own, whether that looked like constantly asking for help because somebody else needed to be needed. There's so many things at play here, and now we've got so many unhealthy coping skills, like the people pleasing, like saying yes to somebody, like avoiding, truly just running away from the whole thing and choosing not to focus in at all. All of these things end up being healthy, but from the standpoint of, I can't take another sense of hurt. I can't be hurt again, so I'll just do it this way. I'll do what I've always done.
Yeah. It worked before, so it should work again, right? Yeah. Yeah. It worked then, so it should work now. And that's so true. It worked then because our little minds found a way to kind of deal with it at the moment, and our little minds thought, ooh, that worked. And so we saved that for later. Yeah.
Yeah. And naturally, the world tends to reinforce that. It shows us or brings us people. It creates those patterns. It encourages us to behave a certain way. And then it just reinforces what we either create for ourselves or what we've been told growing up. I'm not deserving of these things. I have to be on point. I need to overthink. I need to control. And I need to make sure that those needs are met.
Mm-hmm. However they can get met. Uncommon. Yes. Yeah.